Hey guys, I'm just trying this green screen thing out. It takes up the entire width of the bathroom. I've had to try to hang it off my lighting tripod thing. It doesn't hang, it's just knocking things over all over the place. It's highly impractical. Stop staring at my bald spot, please. And it won't go all the way across. So, and also, the way it's made, it doesn't stretch itself out all the way to the edges. So, if I just get rid of it and turn it into a backdrop like this, it's a fucking impractical thing. I can't get in and out of the bathroom like this. See, I'm not allowed to modify this house as much as I want. Otherwise I just put up something massive, you know? That's gonna be pretty fucking useless. Or I'll tell you what, I'll put graphics just in that area. I'm not wearing anything green. Okay, so look at that. That's not stretched. It's not going to work properly. It's going to have shadows. All right. So I got a few deliveries. First of all, I got 10 of these. That just bounced off the ground and up about that high onto the bath. That's bouncy. I wouldn't recommend using it as a ball. Then I got 4 of these. One of them was behind this bloody thing, I can't get it. This is spray alcohol. It was the cheapest. You got a pack of 4. I don't remember the cost. So these ended up being about $25 each. These were about, I think, $12 each. But the thing that made me scared about it is it's got warning labels all over the back of it. Poisonous. If on skin, immediately remove all contaminated clothing. Rinse skin with water. If you're not, what? What? That sounds like it's dangerous to put on my skin, and I've been doing it for years with this stuff. And I thought this didn't have a warning. This would be safe for skin. It's just alcohol, right? But then if you read here, first aid, warning, keep away from sources of ignition, no smoking, avoid contact with skin and eyes, extremely flammable. So avoid contact with skin. I've been spraying it incessantly, this alcohol, onto my head for years. Now I don't know if that's a generic warning against isopropyl alcohol. Do not touch your skin with it. See, that just says isopropyl alcohol. This one is all like 99.8% pure. Like, what the fuck? Does it tell me the other ingredients in this one? It says 100% isopropanol. This one says 98.8% pure. So, what are the other ingredients? Here, whatever that means. It looks like something you wouldn't want to touch, doesn't it? Anyway, also, this one, C22, new fresh bottle. Caution. That's just unreadable. They put black on dark red. Fuck you. Walker tape. No surprises there with the packaging. And there are 2 more things I got, or 3 more things I got. I've got to do a hairline touch up because I haven't done one in 11 days, as far as I can tell from my video dates. I'm pretty sweaty, so I've got to peel that off there and then reapply new glue. It's gross. It's all soggy. All right, and then so these are some of the things I just bought, right? Cyanoacrylate adhesive, super glue. Obviously it's a registered. Oh man, these feel rock solid. I'm not sure if it's all dried out inside these containers. These are cheap. Look how thin that is. The plastic's probably touching inside if it's not already dried out inside. Why would you package it like that anyway? It's not making any squeezy kind of feel inside at all. I just hope it's not all dried out. And to get that stuff off, I've got acetone. What does it say about skin? Avoid contact with eyes, skin. Do not eat, drink or smoke while using. Wear impervious gloves and eye protection. Wash hands and face before meals and afterward. If skin contact occurs, remove contaminated clothing and wash skin thoroughly. If in eyes, hold eyelids open, flood with water for 15 minutes and see doctor. Jeez, I'm going to be using all that up here. This is why people don't encourage you to use hard bonds. Hard bonds like this, just to get it out you need to use that. And there's one last thing I bought, which is this. I think this was $25 or $30 or something. It's got a bunch of different attachments. So this is the Braun Brio Beardscape Trimmer, which I actually bought second-hand. I didn't realize at the time because it was such a high price. It didn't come with any packaging or anything. It's chipped a bit there, and the screen is completely dulled. It used to have a lot more information there, but because of even getting a slight amount of water in it, it's just, the screen's just gone faded and broken. This one doesn't have a screen at all, but it says somewhere on here that wet and dry for in-shower use. So that's what I want. I don't want to have to fuck around with non-waterproof bathroom products. Just gonna get this open. So this is by Braun, well-known company, rather than some no-name company. Oh. It's really hard to do this entire show mid-air. Do you know that? Do you know how hard it is for me to do everything mid-air for you instead of using a big bench? There's no bench space left either. There's some of it. There's the fourth bottle. It was underneath the fucking bench. Alright, here we go. This came in the box as well. That's quite a lot of blades, isn't it? I wonder why that's on there. I don't want that going up and down my face really quite fast. Maybe it's just a sample as part of an advertising campaign or something. Fucking bench space. Don't know what that is. Let's have a look. And I've got these two things as well. Oh wow, they gave me an actual weighted, that's a pretty fucking good deal, man. I got a full-on one of these inside the box. That orange thing is just a bunch of shit. It doesn't do anything. Maybe it does. Maybe it's the way I get the blade off. But look how good that blade is. Wow, that is a superior blade. The one I generally use is also from Gillette, very lightweight, right? Only 2 blades. Well, it's just the type of blade I've been buying. But every time I use more blades, I feel more satisfied. So that's got more weight to it. That's a very good razor blade. I'm very happy to have that. I don't know what that thing down the middle is. Is that an extra blade? Scary. And that's all near my thumb and fingers and stuff when I'm using it. It's got a ball head. Pretty cool. Look at it. I guess that's part of the spring so that it can come back to center. Cool. Alright. New blade. Beautiful. Didn't expect that in the box. Very happy. Stuff, more stuff. Stuff. This thing, let's see if that's an Australian connector. Yes. A currying pouch. Wow. Toiletries bag. Unfortunately for me, given all my hair stuff and everything, I need more than just a toothpaste and toothbrush when I go traveling. But maybe it'll be useful. It's nice and small, fit in my backpack. Now let's look at these parts. Hopefully it doesn't sprawling all over the place. Jesus. See, that's easier. But the problem is it comes all the way off easily. It doesn't just stop. It doesn't stop at a lock point. It just wants to come off completely. That's a bit dumb. Don't like that. And the button's in a stupid spot. Let's just listen to the volume, which is the most important thing when choosing a beard trimmer, because blades always just work anyway. And width as well. So that's wider. So that wins in the width department. Get more coverage at a time. That's got an annoying beep as well. That one's quieter. So in the still of the night, the Beardscape trimmer, the Brio Beardscape trimmer is quieter. You just can't get it wet. This is waterproof, so this wins in that regard. But the volume of that motor, it's saying I'm low on battery. I think that's what that light means. Let's look at these attachments then. So that's bad construction that comes off like that. It should just stay locked, and then I'm gonna do an extra thing to take it off, but it doesn't. It just lets you take it off instantly. Got this attachment here. So that's more for clipping because that's not going to reach, right? That's more for hair length. But then it will just fall off. That's just stupid. I regret buying it now. I don't even know how good the battery life is. It's very loud as well. Big points off. This one, would have to go on some sort of attachment, wouldn't it? The top doesn't just pull off, does it? Fuck, it does. It pulls right off easily. That's bad. That pulls off way too easily. Look at that. Look how easily. There's no button or anything. Just even if you knock it, no, knocking it doesn't make it come off. But well, I don't trust it though. Anyway, this is not going to last a long time. That's a funny feeling. Okay, next test. Come on, who packages like this? This product is called, by the way, the Braun All-in-One Head-to-Toe Trimming Kit, or the MGK3080. This wire is just cheap and nasty as well. That should come off a lot easier. I've never seen such a cheaply made wire tie. Now what I just did with my nostril, I don't really recommend that compared to waxing, but it is something you could do whenever you feel like it, so maybe it's okay. Charging. Okay, that was the test. Here's the test. It does not work while it's plugged in. So I'd say this product gets about a 2 out of 10 so far. The reason I don't recommend doing this up your nostrils is because it'll create stubble in there. Not highly efficient. Okay. Now, next one. Now I'll tell you something. You know how it was easy to take off before? This one's not easy to take off, but there is a little place to put your fingers through. Okay. What's this one? Got this loud of everything else. That works. Can't see much of a reason to use it. Ears maybe. The thing is, I wouldn't just keep changing attachments every time, but when that's in your ear, that's fucking loud. All right, what's the next one? Whoa. Obviously useless for facial hair. Probably for body hair. According to this, yeah. That's a body hair one. So you don't nick your sack, apparently. That's the first one we started with. But there are 2 more attachments that seem to relate to this. These 2. This one says 1 on it. The phone actually ran out of data storage space. So I looked into it. I thought I'd taken all my videos and everything off, and I had. Basically, there was hardly any video or camera stuff on there. What it was the cache from my YouTube app, like 29 gigabytes. And then the podcast, that was like 30 gigabytes. So I deleted both of those, just deleted the apps completely and reinstalled them. I just freed up about 60 gigabytes on my phone's hard drive. If your phone's running out of space, it might not be your videos and your photos. It could be you've got to delete your YouTube and podcasts apps and just reinstall them to clear up the cache. It worked. We're just looking at these. Oh, I was trying to turn it on, it doesn't work unless you unplug it. Pretty shitty, huh? I guess that's still flashing. I don't want to read the instructions, but I guess that's still flashing because it's low on battery. I've been charging it for the last 20 minutes or so while I went and packed all this shit away because I got a big green screen and all the other stuff and put some of the stuff in the recycling bin. I've realized that little bag could be useful for holding all of these little attachments and things. But then they're hard to get to. So it's hard for me to figure out whether or not I should continue to use this one, which still works. I thought it didn't work, which is why I bought the other one, because this white bit popped out. This white bit here actually is ceramic blades, as opposed to this one, which uses metal blades. That's a 1 that I've got attached onto that. I really don't like the way these things just pop off easily. And the final attachment is a 2. Not good for much, really. See, that's shit. That's just badly designed. That's the one I want. Just, I gotta be careful not to go past whatever that setting is, because it doesn't stop me. So it just wants to push off. Bad design. So that must be a 3 or something at its minimum. For nearly all instances, I didn't even need to press the button to pull that off, by the way. For any trimming, I would use this. But that's so loud, and I'm generally, often, as you know, shaving in the middle of the night, much quieter. Too loud. That's an accident waiting to happen. I wonder if that's how Hitler shaved. Maybe I'm like one of those Japanese cooks. It's kind of messy. I feel like I've got to go back over it many times to get this, whereas with this I only have to go over it once really. That's set to low as well. I'm going to bring those blades up a bit. See? It's got a wider that's a piece of shit compared to this one, which is good because this is more expensive. It makes sense. Maybe the one thing I can appreciate out of that box is the new razor I got. It's got a nice weight to it. I like metal and rubber as opposed to light plastic. I guess I could leave that other one in the shower or something. I just can't see a use for it. See how it's going all red? Like I'm getting a rash for no good reason. My neck's highly sensitive. When I was working as a busker, living out of my van, about 23 years ago, I met a guy who was going to get some kind of permanent hair removal on his face because he never wanted to shave again. He was very poor. A lot of the people I met as a busker were poor. A lot of them were homeless actually. But that would be an interesting prospect. To wax, not just wax, but have hair removal treatment on the face. I wouldn't want to permanently remove all the stuff off my face. This is concerning. Am I growing moles there and there? That's shit. Okay, let's get down to business. I've just got to clean this up a bit. I want to totally revolutionize this bench and make it much bigger. Barely holds anything. Look. I've even put most of the stuff away. But that bench is too small. It's hard to clean. It would be nice to come out to about there. And get a sink that doesn't get all covered in shit. Just from its design. Like this one's designed not to be in an area that's going to get covered in facial pubes, right? The other thing is, if you wear beige pants, cream colored pants, it always look like you wet yourself. The moment you get a splash of water. Or if you wet yourself, take a piss and it just shakes all over your fucking pants. First of all, I'm gonna remove this glue. Some people say just get balls of cotton wool and roll it along and it'll just take it off. That could work, but in my mind, there's no fucking way that would work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my finger, wish it was drier, this one's a bit drier, and just start peeling away like that, and hopefully it'll just peel itself off. Now this is about 11 days, and I say to do it every 3 to 5 days. So basically, what I'm telling you is, this has had very bad stick lately. But because it's a hairpiece, I don't show the front hairline, because it's got horizontal V-loops. I haven't cared about it that much. But I do like a secure hold. The other thing is, I place this hairpiece on my head too high, so really it should come down to about there, instead of where it's going to land there. So it is about 1/2 centimeter too high above the place where I want it to be. Nevertheless, it does feel a lot better. By the way, America, congratulations. Looks like you've got a sensible president. I was just watching Stephen Colbert talking about what it feels like. It's like you've been lost at sea for 4 years and you finally just seen land and he just wants to kiss the ground. Now this dried out, so I put some water inside it. So they're wetting it. It's fucking slipping around everywhere. Alright. Yeah, I watched the inauguration. It was quite emotional. Really well done. I loved it. Even though it didn't have anyone in the audience. I had way more people in the crowd than Biden. I just couldn't believe it. He started off with that lie, didn't he? We're the greatest crowd that any president's ever had. I remember him taking us through the White House, showing us the photograph of the crowd. And then they compared the Obama crowd to the Trump crowd. And it was like 100,000 versus 30,000 or something. I personally knew an American who was going to, prepared to go there and book a place to be near the Capitol building for Hillary's inauguration. But when he found out it was Trump, he went, no, I'm not going. And then a whole bunch of his friends, etc., decided to boycott as well because Trump was so hated even before he was put into power. You might think I'm just some dumb Australian who doesn't know what he's talking about. Because Trump was a hero, man. Maybe he was, but he sure disguised it. He seemed like he just wanted everything to be about him. I'm glad he's gone. It was a fun adventure, full of comedy. But seriously, I think the only people who really worship Trump are also hardcore Jesus worshippers as well. Somehow, Jesus and Trump were somehow in the minds of a lot of those Republican fans knitted together, maybe because conservatives are conservative about keeping the path of Christ, and that's what defines conservative mentality, ideology in America. Because in the rest of the Western world, we've mostly just gone, you know what, I'll go to church on Christmas Day, but I'm not going to go every Sunday. We appreciate the whole do good unto others thing. You'd want to rephrase that whole do unto others as you would like to be treated yourself. Treat others the way you'd like to be treated yourself. But what about rape? Well, I wanted to fuck her. I wish she would have fucked me. So I did unto her as I would have had her do unto me. So it doesn't work out. You need a better word equation. I wanted her to feel my pussy. I wish she grabbed it. Everybody loves it. Everybody likes to touch it. So now it's getting very splubby over here. Hard to get these extra bits. You might think, why don't I just wipe it? I'll try that. The problem with that a bit is it sort of wets it. These hairs here will have chunks of glue in it as well. It's not good. What I'm going to do though today is try the hard bond, even though it's sort of, it's not toxic to skin, but it's bad if you stick it in a wound, really, in terms of, they used to do it in World War II, like I said in the previous video, before they created a new formula, which was safe for skin, aka Dermabond, or other such liquid skins. Let's just hope it doesn't dribble down into my eyes. These glasses are not really going to offer dribble protection if it comes down my face. So I'll have to figure out how to squirt this thing, and hopefully those containers are not completely dried out. Hopefully it's just hard plastic that feels like it's dried out and they're not actually dried out. And the packaging is suspect, given that you have to use one of those needles that came with it. But I'd rather they gave them to me, those thumbtacks, so I can open it instead of not being able to open it. The other thing is, I don't know how long it takes to set. I would say less than 10 seconds. So if I don't chuck it on and slam it down instantly, it will probably not work at all. So I need to make sure that everything's properly cleaned up. This might even be an area that's too large to cover with that stuff. I might just try out this highly toxic stuff and see if my scalp starts peeling back to the skull. Do not inhale, do not get in eyes, do not get on skin. It smells like normal alcohol. Bagus sekali. Oh, it actually dribbled out. Okay. I'm just gonna pop this back on for a second. I just want to get rid of that blob. I feel like Indiana Jones when he's swapping over the bag of sand for when he's stealing that golden artifact head thing. Okay, time's up, it's dried already. Oh shit, nearly got me in the eye. Even if it gets on my glasses, that would be bad. My glasses. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on. I feel like I need goggles or something. I can't even see if it's coming out properly. I'm squinting just so my eyelashes catch it if necessary. Okay, that's burning a bit. It feels a bit burny. I can feel it starting to harden on my forehead where it's dripped. It does feel burny. Hopefully that burning sensation will not be very long. Just making sure it's still wet over here. Can you hear the crunching? Very crunchy. Okay, and we're going to slam it down. Hopefully there's no splash. Definitely hot. Still glue stuck in there from before. There's a sort of a crunchy feeling, a bit of burning, not too much. Now, as you know, this is the arse end of a hairpiece, so it's all horizontal V-lips. I will never be showing my hairline. I just want to know that this stuff will actually stick and how long it will last. The room's really hot, that's why the blue tack's melting off the back of this phone. There's still slime left in the hairs from the previous glue. Okay, that's lifted there. Oh, it's lifted there too. I'm gonna add a bit more to all of that. Because once this stuff lifts, it won't be stuck back down. Oof, it's dripping, it really wants to drip. It'll be faster. Don't be so fast that I hurt myself though. Okay, and slowing it down. Okay, instead of me messing around with it, I'm just gonna wait for a while. Go and play a game or something. There is that burning feeling still. I'll put the lid back on this. Hopefully that won't dry out. But this stuff is cheap. I think I got 3 of them for $7 or $10. There's still some liquid in there. So if that does not dry out, that should give me another front hairline. But I'm assuming that this hairpiece is no longer going to be any good. There is that burning feeling going on in here. Like if I was to lift it up now, I'm pretty sure my hairline would be red. So what I've done effectively is taken super glue and glued the hairpiece directly onto my scalp. My scalp was fairly dry. I was sweating slightly. You saw that bit lift there. But maybe if I just leave it for a while, it feels like really hard, crunchy plastic here. And you also saw that dribble come down here as well of super glue. If I do have to wipe that off, I'll have to use this other stuff, which also says, make sure you do not get it on your skin. This also says, make sure you do not get it on your skin. And if this thing had any instructions already writing on it that made any sense, it would also say, make sure you don't get it on your skin. Plus I've got a couple more. Hard bond. See how it goes. I'll spend the day playing Risk and some other things, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll have a look at it again. Okay, it's been a while. Look at the edit. I feel really sore because, well, I pulled a muscle in my back, but also I'm just sitting down too long. I've got to go for a walk. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm missing the whole summer because I haven't got any friends. Not any friends that I haven't hung up on recently. So this is hardened. And right here, where I put that extra glue, feels crackly. I kind of need that. Well, that doesn't stick to hair, I suppose. It would, but there's some overhang. I can't just cut that out, can I? Kind of need that. Listen. It's not soft at all. Don't know what that is there. Droplet of super glue. Okay, let's see if there's any hole in this at all. So I'm just going to brush this back. There is some hair product, residual hair product in my hair. Look at those grays, holy shit. So it's not a smooth transition when I lift like that. Can you hear that? And this stuff that was stripped down my forehead, while I was sitting in the chair, I absentmindedly did this, and it just trickled down as little dust particles. I don't really trust this glue. It's got an awful feel right along the front hairline. There is fine for some reason. Why is that fine? Because it's flipping up and down, that's why. Not sure how to cut that off. Cut off a bit of it. So this is a piece of 0.03 poly with super glue. If I squeeze it, will it crack? It's sharp on my fingers, like it would. Some of it crumbled away. That could have just been because the scissors broke it. This bit here, it's really big, hard chunk. It's like a piece of glass, really. It's sharp. So it kind of hurts a bit because it is sharp. This bit up here, sharp. Am I confident that this would not come up? Does this take 24 hours to cure? I'm not sure. Because at the moment I feel like I just want to cut off those excess bits. But it's all, my hairline's already too high. And there is super glue all along there, but that obviously didn't hold itself down. I want to just discard this and say it doesn't work. But because I have this feeling that maybe it's supposed to cure after 24 hours, like I wouldn't trust this stuff to stick my fingers together perfectly. You would expect it kind of would, and you'd have to eventually get some, well, acetone and dissolve it. By the way, I did sprinkle some acetone on my hands earlier, and I haven't washed them. There's no burning or tingling or anything. For now, I'm just going to try to add a bit. That's dangerous that you got to pull it, because the whole thing, you got to squeeze the bottle while you're pulling this, and the whole thing is just splitting your eyes. It's bad design. It's the cheapest. Okay, that's dribbling down there. You can see it just running along underneath there as well. I can anyway, just from the reflection. Okay. Maybe I do have to put this down in sections, so I'll put that down immediately. Gee, that's not behaving like a hairpiece anymore, it's behaving like a hardened piece of plastic. Not like silicone, which is like rubbery plastic. There's a very evident lip there. Especially just there, I feel like I should cut that chunk off. So yeah, if you want to turn hair into plastic, this would be the way to do it. It really sticks hairs together really well. That would be a I guess you could shower in acetone. It would be irretrievable otherwise. It's chunked together because of the glue as well. So it kind of seeps up into the hairs and fucks up your front hairline. I really want to get rid of some of that massively hardened chunk, otherwise my hairline's going to feel like shit. I am cutting back the hairline, which I hoped I wouldn't have to do. Yeah, so instead of 0.03 millimeters, we've now got this lip sticking up, hard, sharp. It's got a burning sensation associated with it right now. but it dissipated before, so I have no doubt that it'll go away. Yeah, this super hold, if you're going to have a brushed back look, I wouldn't trust it not to create and put an extra several 0.03 millimeters onto what was once a thin base. I've still got some of the sticky residue from the other glue, this stuff, which is reaffirming my first plan, which was to remove that whole sticky, dissolving sensation that you get from the... So I will keep working on this hard bond. I should figure out how to pronounce this. Cyanoacrylate. Cyanoacrylate adhesive. Because I really don't want that mushy whole, it comes off your scalp all the time, sensation that you get with every other glue, except silicone. Of course, this stuff, when it lifts, you can't press it back down at all. It's got no re-adhesion capabilities. See, now I'm going to be adding more super glue to this area, but it's already hardened and wants to sort of force itself to stick up. And therefore I feel like I have no choice but to cut it off. All of it. Don't know if that line will ever be disguisable, because there's a very clear white line where the glue's rising up there. Apparently this has exactly the same properties as Dermabond and such things. It's just that Dermabond and the other medical grade cyanoacrylates have got some kind of skin sensitive, I don't know, solution inside them to make it less burny. And from what I read, the only difference is between this stuff and the medical stuff is that the medical stuff is less burny, but this is not really toxic unless it enters the bloodstream, but even then it's not too bad apparently. It doesn't give you cancer, according to medical websites that I read. Don't know what's going on there. Yeah, so I guess with this stuff is, if you have put it down once before, you can never do a hairline touch up again. You just got to keep, even if you did cut back the front and put new glue underneath, I get the feeling that the layer back would just be as plasticky, so adding an extra layer would just make it doubly thick as well. So I'm cutting off about 1/4 centimeter over here, 0.25 millimeters. That chunk there is pissing me off. I think it's just stuck together from the Ultra Hold. Up here I've still got that overhang. That's really sharp like glass right there. Can't see what's causing the jagged edge. Just feel it. So obviously this wouldn't be enough to do your entire scalp, just the front hairline. The stuff that you get in here, you wouldn't want to do your whole hairline anyway, really. So the rest is held down by 11-day-old mostly this, I think. One of these two, they're about the same anyway. Yeah, it's not a nice feeling, but if it's secure, I'll be okay with it. Because you've got to choose between running your hands up there and having this sludgy mess popping up and lifting your hairline at the front, or you've got this feeling going up and going kink, ow, ow, slicing my fingers. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually were able to slice your finger open that way. Listen to the noise it is again. You're not much good to me alive, are you, Errol? I should charge this thing. But like I said, you can't use it while it's plugged in, which is just bad design. Okay, I don't want to put a lot of strain on this right now, but I am praying to one of your gods that it holds and that it gets even more bonded over the next 24 hours. As for right now, even though this is the arse end of a hairpiece, so you're going to get horizontal ellipse, I would never show this wall of hair at 21, except you. So I have some confidence that it will hold, and I need to really test this out by, well, I guess not having a shower for the next 24 hours as well. Just use baby wipes on my armpits and stuff with some soap and water, my asshole and stuff. Yeah, but I reckon this is promising, but it's dangerous. Don't get this on your eyelashes. There's a slight burning sensation that's gone away, mostly gone away. And the hold feels fairly secure. Bit of overhang here. hard to actually get to these spots. When you're doing your own hair. Still doable. It would be a lot easier to have a second person doing it for you, which is why I see it is a good service that salons must provide, so long as they're not stupidly expensive. Because I'd much rather have somebody doing this for me. But I obviously can't get it done all the time. The thing is, with the thing behind your head, you can't see that. So for people with full toppers that go all the way around the back, it's so much easier to do someone else's head, right? If you are going to go into a salon, please do an experiment for me. Tell them to use cyanoacrylate. Cyanoacrylate on your entire hairpiece. You'll probably have to chuck the hairpiece out after next time you take it off. But it might last for weeks, which would be fucking awesome. And like I've just done, you might have to just chop away at the front hairline, so it might be in your best interest to just start a little bit lower. This is already too high for me. And obviously, this is the arse end of the hairpiece, so. But if this works, I'll be very fucking happy. Could be the dawn of a new age. Got that feeling all the way along the front there. It's not inside, it's just on the tip. All right. Day one of the hard bond.